Hello sir, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Oh, please take some water. You seem very thirsty.
Thank you, thank you.
Please take one more. One more, please, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, students. So today we are going to discuss one more new lesson, that is law of diminishing marginal utility. So you must have observed now that when sir was drinking water, so the expression with each glass of water was changing. Now about that we will discuss later. First let us discuss what is utility. So why sir drink this glass of water? Because he was thirsty. Now what is the utility of water? Water can satisfy the quench. What is the utility of the water? Utility of water is here to quench the thirst. So now what is utility? Utility means want satisfying power of a commodity. Here, utility means want satisfying power of a commodity. So now there are two types of utility, as we can see. One is total utility and another is marginal utility. So total utility, it is the total satisfaction derived from total consumption of a commodity. And the formula is, for example, you can see TU equal to sum total of MU. Now when the sir was drinking water, so sir drank 3 glasses of water. Here total utility is sum of the satisfaction from 3 glasses of water. Now what is marginal utility? So marginal utility, it is the additional satisfaction derived from the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity. So here when sir was drinking water, he drank first glass of water. So the satisfaction only from first glass of water, that is marginal utility of first glass of water. Then he drank second glass of water. So marginal utility only from the second glass of water, that is the additional satisfaction. And when he drank the third glass of water, it is the additional satisfaction from third glass of water. So here marginal utility is the change in satisfaction when we move from one unit to another unit. Now law of diminishing marginal utility. So who gave this law? According to Professor Alfred Marshall. So Alfred Marshall is the propounder of law of diminishing marginal utility. If a consumer consumes more and more units of a commodity, then marginal utility from each successive unit tends to decrease. If a consumer consumes more and more unit of homogeneous and if a consumer consumes more and more unit of homogeneous and standard unit of a commodity, then marginal utility from each successive unit tends to decrease. And this is also called fundamental psychological law of consumption. Why it is called fundamental psychological law of consumption? Because it applies on most of the commodities. There are some assumptions of the law. Only if these assumptions are followed, the law is applied. First, all the units of the commodity must be same in all respects. Same in all respects means in size, color, shape, designing, pattern or taste. They are same. That is homogeneous. Second, the unit must be standard. Standard means commonly used by each and everyone in the society. Third, the taste and preferences of the consumer must remain same during the period of consumption. And fourth, the mental condition of the consumer must remain normal during the period of consumption. Now we can understand it through an example. So as you can see here, we can understand it through an example. So every afternoon you are very hungry, and when you are very hungry you go to mess. You eat there bread or chapatis. So here we have taken that example. So suppose when you are going to mess, when you eat first bread, because you are very hungry, so the satisfaction from the first bread is very high. When you eat the second bread, the satisfaction is lesser than first bread, because some of the hunger has been satisfied. When you eat the third bread, the satisfaction is lesser than second bread. So in this way, the additional satisfaction from each bread continuously decrease, that you must have observed, and on the basis of that we have taken this example. So here there are 3 columns in this schedule. First, slices of bread. Second, total utility, and third is marginal utility. So when first slice of bread is taken, that time the marginal utility is highest. After that, with each successive unit of bread, the marginal utility is continuously decreasing. And you can see that at 6 units of bread, marginal utility is negative. We can see also till marginal utility is positive, total utility is increasing, but after that it also start decreasing. So why TU decrease and why MU becomes negative? Again, we can also understand it through with diagram. Till MU is in positive segment, TU curve sloping upward. When MU is in negative segment, TU curve sloping downward. And when MU curve is intersecting x-axis, TU curve is at its highest. Now, why TU start decreasing and why MU becomes negative? Because when we continuously consume something, we saturate. What is saturation point? So saturation point, the level of consumption where consumer is fully satisfied, fully saturated, and don't want to consume any more unit of a commodity. If he consumes more, the TU start decreasing and MU becomes negative. For example, you must have seen now and noticed when the sir was drinking glass of water. So first glass of water, he was very satisfied. In second glass of water, the expression was somehow different. And in third glass of water, he was hardly taking that. Why? Because up to second glass of water, he was almost saturated. So what is saturation point? Saturation is when at that level of consumption where MU is 0, that is additional satisfaction. Consumer is getting no additional satisfaction at all. And TU is maximum, the total satisfaction is maximum. After that, there is no need of any consumption. That is saturation point. And after that, you consume, you suffer. And that suffering is negative marginal utility. Now let us understand what is the relationship between marginal utility and total utility. So we can see total utility increases till MU remains positive, and total utility is maximum when MU becomes 0, and total utility start decreasing when MU becomes negative. So total utility depends on marginal utility, and total utility the summation of marginal utility. Dear students, there are some exceptions of the law. First, money. So money. If a person is having more and more money, the person is never saturated. Each of us want more and more money. So money is the exceptions of the law where law does not apply. Second, hobbies. Many of you are good dancers, many of you are good musicians and singers. So if you sing, you are not saturated from your singing. If you dance, you are not saturated from your dancing. And if you are musician, you are not saturated from playing the music. Same is with drunkards. So when they drink the liquor, they are not saturated one after another peg. They want more and more. So there also the law does not apply. And fourth is things of display. So if we see any visual, we are not saturated from that visual. So dear students, you must have understood what is utility and what is the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, thank you. See you again with another lesson.